we get 350 plus thousand people that come and visit Speedway, Indiana, go watch the race, for the single largest day sporting event in the country. That is huge for not only the town, but the city and the state and the country.
Nick, thank you so much for joining us on This is Purdue, our official university podcast. You're a proud Purdue alum. You're going back again for your doctorate. And you're a Speedway, Indiana resident. You've been living there for almost 20 years now. So we're going to dig into the Indy 500 and how Boilermakers, help shape that and how they're involved in that. So we're just excited to dig in. It's going to be the 110th Indy 500 on May 24th. And I'm also joined by a very special person today, my Purdue colleague, Trevor Peters. Second time having a co-host this season. I'm so excited.
Yeah, as they say, longtime listener, first time on the podcast. So thrilled to be here. And this will be last year was my 20th Indy 500 in the Northeast Vista in Turn 3. So very pleased to join you and to chat with Nick a little bit.
Fitting episode for you to join us for. So, Nick, it's no secret that Speedway, Indiana, which is home to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, is the racing capital of the world. But as a longtime resident of this town, how does the famous Indy 500 come to life every May?
Again, I've been in Speedway for about 20 years, actually officially 19, but 20 next year. It's always been, throughout the year, activity going, live there. So it's kids, sports, all that. But really, as we're in April 1st, things start gearing up and the energy just starts building and building and building. And it's really something that it's hard to explain unless you've been there to experience it. But the energy is just palpable. You can feel it. There's nothing else like it in the world. And it feeds into that greatest spectacle in racing. It's just, it all comes together and it's just great. Again, really hard to explain and put in words, and just like, you've got to go, you got to be there to experience it.
How does the town prepare for the race?
Yeah, really, preparation starts right after the race. We look at what went well, what didn't go well, figure out how we need to make those adjustments. But we've been doing it so long. We're coming in to the town's 100th centennial anniversary this year. So we've got a lot of experience with these races. So a little bit of it is old hat. We know what to expect. We just do it. We do it well. But, it's getting the infrastructure ready. It's making sure we have manpower and resources. It's collaborating with the city of Indianapolis, the state of Indiana, federal partners, to make sure everything's in lockstep, and that when it comes to the 500, we're ready, even prior to the green flag dropping.
So many Boilermakers have been part of the spectacle over the years, yourself included, but from the All-American Marching Band to the engineers in the garages, how have you seen Boilermakers kind of transform the Indy 500?
Purdue's a staple of the race. Just a little bit background, my daughters were in the Speedway marching band, and so they were there behind the Purdue marching band, leading the Borg Warner Trophy up to the start finish line. I mean, that is a major staple and part of the Indianapolis 500 and the racing tradition. So, I mean, that's a huge piece. I love seeing the Purdue logo just being predominantly displayed, through the broadcast, and just all the Purdue alums that live in town that, work for IMS that support the race. It's just, it's an awesome thing to know that it's happening, and that Purdue's such a predominant part of the Indianapolis 500.
You talked about the town celebrating 100 years this year. What are some things that race goers can do outside of just going to the Indy 500?
Yeah. So, and this is, like I said, May is our time to shine. We've got so much. Our downtown Main Street area is thriving. We did a huge redevelopment in about 2010, and just really to help support and give race fans and visitors, something else to do besides just go to the racetrack. From the, town council perspective, we want people to stay and visit and spend their money. in Speedway and help our small businesses and other businesses out while they're there. So Main Street is kind of kind of our crown jewel outside of IMS, but we also have other businesses along Crawfordsville Road that goes out towards the west side of town in Founder Square. So we've got a lot of activities there. I hate to leave out some of the names, but yeah, Charlie Brown's Pancake. If you've not been there, it's a quick serve dine place. The pancakes are phenomenal. Every racing legend that has come through and raced at IMS has eaten there. We've got Brosini's Pizza, which is traditional New York style pizza, SIK Speedway Indoor Karting, and all the way up through barbecue and bourbon. If for those that like barbecue and maybe some adult beverages can stop there. Dawson's, an early staple to Main Street from a restaurant perspective, to Fun Days, to now Speedway City Garage, which is a new coffee shop, Founders Ground, and another Pax Verum. So there's just so much from the north end to the south end of Main Street to do that, we hope people will check out when they come in for the race.
Daredevil and Quaffon.
Well, yeah,
I've
Daredevil.
spent a few dollars on Main Street.
And honestly, Daredevil's Pizza is probably one of my favorite pizzas in town.
So you mentioned Main Street, but what are some of the other factors of Speedway that make it an ideal place to host an event like the Indianapolis 500?
Yeah, Speedway grew up alongside the track. We, like I said, came a little bit later than the track's founding in 1909. We were founded in 1926, but our community there just absolutely supports the track. Our identity is, as well as IMS, is woven together. Our schools are some of the top in not only the country, but the state and the county. We're consistently ranked number one of private high school or public high schools within Marion County. Our parks department, our street, our police and fire, all of that are just give us our, identity separate from the city of Indianapolis, which is great. We love Indy. It's our capital city, but we take pride in being Speedway, Indiana.
What are some of the ways that the race impacts tourism and just the overall economy? I'm sure in May it's booming.
Yeah. There was a study done not too long ago that the Indianapolis 500 IMS generates close to $1 billion or over $1 billion to the state of Indiana from an economic development. We get 350,000+ people that come and visit Speedway, Indiana, go watch the race, for the single largest day sporting event in the country. That is huge for not only the town, but the city and the state and the country. So, I mean, it's just, a huge part from, what we as, the state have been doing for a long time to drive the economy and get people to move and live and stay in Indiana.
So we focus a lot on 1 month of the year, clearly. I mean, you start with running down Main Street for the mini marathon all the way to the victory banquet, and there's a lot going on in that month. The 11 other months of the year, there's still clearly things happening. What else can folks expect from June until April in Speedway?
Yeah, I mean, our parks department does a lot of stuff. We do a farmer's market in we've got 2 public parks, one on the north side, Meadowwood, then Leonard Park. Meadowwood on the north side, there's a concert series, there's a farmer's market, there's a music and arts fest that go, sports youth camps that happen during the summertime, other events, Run 317 race that happens, which has been voted the best of their series that they do around Indianapolis, which now the course goes through IMS on Georgetown, which is great experience. It's another aspect of racing that happens. Our shops and events. Last year, our communication director put on Movies on Main. We opened up what we called a little pocket park where got an inflatable movie screen and they were playing movies from the town perspective, but also for the businesses. We want people to come, obviously for May, but for the rest the 11 months of the year.
So you were the 2025 president of the Speedway Town Council. Now you are a current town council member as well. What are some of your priorities as far as revitalizing tourism and economic growth, especially in downtown Speedway?
Yeah, I mentioned in 2010, the town, and especially Main Street, was basically a ghost town. And there was a lot of effort and energy and money put in to get it to the point where it is today. My individual goal, as well as the rest of the council, is how do we not let that happen again? And how can we continue to have forward progression to make sure that, again, we don't end up like we were, and have Speedway just kind of disappear into nothingness. And so we're 3.5 square miles surrounded by the city of Indianapolis. We're landlocked. So we've got to be innovative in our thinking, use our strengths around the motorsports and racing industry to help, drive to that economic development. I think there's a few things else that we're going to be chatting about here that I think will help drive into that continued growth and economic development.
What does the connection to Purdue's motorsports engineering program, the only accredited undergrad motorsports engineering program in the country, mean to you as a Boilermaker alum?
I was there for the ribbon cutting, and when I was asked if I wanted it to be, it was like, yes. I mean, I couldn't say or, respond fast enough. I love seeing the Purdue logo on Main Street, on the Dallara building, and have that there. And I love the fact that Purdue Indy and the campus is expanding, and that we're able to bring some of that Boilermaker pride to Speedway, Indiana.
What future opportunities do you think there could be between Purdue and Speedway and Dallara and all?
Yeah, there's some things I don't think I can share at this point, not knowing how all things, but I know that there are efforts to expand the Purdue Motorsports program in Speedway, and to further strengthen that partnership and collaboration between Purdue and Dallara, which Dallara has been a main staple to Speedway, as far as one of the first big businesses to have their headquarters on our main street.
We featured a Purdue alum, and he was a Dallara engineer last year on This Is Purdue, and he was just so excited to be working at Dallara, so excited for his experience within the motorsports program. So that was really special for us.
Well, the town council's also played a big role in bringing and maintaining a lot of automotive companies in Speedway, Allison Transmission, OMR North America. Walk us through how much of a benefit that is for Purdue students and for future motorsports engineering folks that can have those kind of companies based in their backyard.
Well, as you mentioned, being the only accredited undergraduate program in the country, with the track and IndyCar being right there, and Dallara and OMR, Junco Racing has their headquarters there. Foyt Racing has their headquarters there. Those students I'm kind of envious of, because they have an opportunity that no other student has. And to be in such proximity, get into those companies, Allison, I forgot to mention, but it's right there. I mean, they're within walking distance of those companies. I don't think there's in any other program in any other school will have the students to have the same opportunity as those, to be in such proximity and be able to say, hey, we're in such a unique location.
So changing gears to your background, pun intended there. You see what I did there? You received your master's degree in cyber forensics in 2015 from Purdue, and now you're pursuing your PhD as well. Super exciting. How did this background in cybersecurity kind of shape your role within the Speedway Town Council?
Yeah, I spent 10 years with the state of Indiana, 8 as a Indiana State Trooper, which really first got me my exposure to Purdue and the cyber forensics program. Going through the master's program, getting that highly technical knowledge and expertise actually it opened up my opportunity to then work for the state of Indiana, the Office of Technology, and running a cybersecurity program, which was also located here on campus. So I was able to work and hire Purdue students in our security operations center. And then from there, it's just been able to get me into leadership opportunities in the private sector that I knew I could leverage when it came to running for town council and to lead or help lead the town of Speedway.
What sparked your interest in getting into public service?
Well, I going actually back to when I was a kid, my uncle was the chief of police of a small town in north central Kentucky. So that really first got me wanting and influenced me to be wanting to be in law enforcement. From there, I was like, oh, FBI would be cool. But as life happened, opportunity to apply for the 67th recruit class for the Indiana State Police happened. I was selected out over 6,000 applicants. And, as my life changed and family and other priorities shifted, I left the department, went to, again, the Office of Technology. Opportunities in the private sector happened in 2017, and over from there until when I ran in 2023, I need to get back into public service, and I was asked to run. Some folks in town felt like there needed to be some new blood on the town council, and seeing an opportunity to step up and lead, my state police instincts kicked in and said, you've got to step up when there's a opportunity for leadership.
So then, as a former state trooper, did you ever participate in any Indy 500s in the past?
Actually, every year on the department, except for when I was in the academy, I participated in some shape or form. My first year in 2008, I worked at an intersection at Crawfordsville and Lyndhurst, which is a busy intersection, both north and southwest, east and west traffic. But then when I got promoted in 2009 into our IT section, I got detailed to the inside of the track. And so I got spoiled, let me tell you, being on the start finish line for the opening, ceremonies, it just being it kind of in the mix, it kind of, again, spoiled me a little bit, but now it's nice. I get to sit in the Southwest Vista with my wife and my father-in-law and my daughter occasionally when she wants to come in, and we get to watch the race in turn one.
Nice. I'm always so appreciative of law enforcement on race day because you got a lot to deal with.
It's a long day. I
Yeah.
know for the state police, they get there around 5 o'clock in the morning and they do not leave until traffic clears out. So it's a long 14 to 18-hour day, depending.
I was going to ask if you had any wild stories, but it sounds like you had it kind of made in the shade over there.
No, there's a few carb days that I worked where,
Okay.
people maybe imbibed a little bit too much
As it
and got a
goes.
little bit crazy. And I will say the race fans are pretty well behaved for the most part. And you really kind of have to ask to get in trouble to get the attention of law enforcement. But yeah, there's some stories.
Maybe for another podcast.
But yes, another podcast.
What advice do you have for current or future Boilermakers who are interested in getting involved in the town of Speedway or maybe getting involved with the race someday?
Yeah, first of all, come experience it. Like I said at the start of the show, it's really hard to describe, but once you go, it's like, man, I get goosebumps just thinking about the start of the race and everything that goes along with it. And then, we've got volunteer opportunities with the town, with our parks boards. We've got service organizations that help out around the month of May. And then outside of the month of May, IMS, they need people to work the track. And so there's opportunities to work for the track during the month. Also, the 500 Princess that the 500 Festival does. And I know Boilermakers have participated in being princesses, and the mini marathon, the volunteer for that. So there's just a lot of opportunities both with the town government itself, service organizations, or other businesses to be in the mix of the Indy 500.
Yeah. So this is a big year, 110th running,
You know,
America 250 celebrating the 250th birthday of our country, and of course on Memorial Day weekend every year. How is the town of Speedway going to blend all of these together and make a great weekend?
yeah, and I mentioned we're in our centennial
Yeah.
anniversary as well. It's all kind of blend in, which makes it a once in a lifetime opportunity. We as the town are blending those celebrations into everything that we're doing. We've got a centennial planning committee that's been working for probably 3 years now on planning different activities within the month of May, and then as we get into the summer months, it's just special. I know at the State of the Town address, Doug Bowles was mentioning that they're already close to selling out and probably have already sold out by now. So we're going to have huge crowds again, and all of the activities that are traditionally accompanying the 500 as well as Rocking on Main. I can't forget to mention that. My communications director will get mad at me on Carb Day. It's a nice continuation of Carb Day to get everybody together. Our businesses can highlight their unique things that they do. But yeah, it's just going to be a bigger celebration with all of the 110th, the 250, and the 100th. It's going to be special this year.
Okay, Nick, this is Purdue annual tradition, 5 years running. We ask our month of May guests about their race day predictions. So as a local Indy 500 expert, who do you think will come out on top this year? Who do you think the winner will be?
This one's tough. I've been thinking about this one for a little bit. Elio's going to be back in the field, hopefully qualify. So there's a chance for 5. I mean, could you imagine based on, what we were just talking about, the 110th, the 250, that Elio gets his 5th win. I think I've been an Elio fan for a long time, so I'd love for him to get his win. I also like Pato O'Ward. He's come close a couple times. Last year's race, he was really close and just wasn't able to get it. And Alex Pello pulled off the win. And then there's Connor Daly. I mean, an Indianapolis native, want to root for him. And so it's tough. I would love to see Elio get his 5th. I think if, the stars are aligned with everything else, I like I said, I would love to see him to get his 5th win.
I think you named the top 3 fan favorites.
Yeah.
That's who I'm hoping to.
Trevor, as a guest of the pod, we're turning the question to you.
Pato O'Ward.
Okay.
I have watched him race now for several years, and poor guy's come up close several times.
Yeah.
And I think he keeps saying, one of these days he's going to do it. One of these times he's going to do it. And I think it could be this year. So
Okay.
we'll see.
Those are our predictions.
That's my prediction.
All right, you heard it
Do you
here
get a
first.
prediction? Do you get one?
I don't
Or
know.
do you refrain?
I hope it's any of the people that you all named.
Fair enough. Well, looking at the future, when you think of Speedway's impact, the next 100 years, what excites you for the Speedway future?
Our future's bright. I mean, I think, and there's been with Roger Penske and what he's done for the track over the last, almost 6 years now. I can't believe it's been that long since he's had stewardship of the Indy 500 and IMS. We are going to continue to build on our racing tradition, innovation with what it means, not only to the town of Speedway, but to the state. We're going to continue to build on that racing and automotive history that we have and just continue to make sure that when people come in for the race that they have those extra activities that they can do. And from the town perspective, we're going to continue to invest in our schools, in infrastructure, our public safety.
Well, anything else that we missed? Anything that your communications director would want you to
There you
say?
go.
I could mention we've got a lot of activities that we normally do throughout the years, but this year with it being our centennial, there's going to be a car show themed throughout the eras of the early 1900s to now. We'll have a unveiling of a time capsule that we're going to be doing. I think we may be putting in a new time capsule or time capsule, if I could speak here. This and just come in, see what we're about, come visit. I mean, it's busy during the month of May, so maybe, if you really want to get the full experience outside, the other 11 months, we've just got a lot. It's a nice small town feel within the bigger city of Indianapolis. So
Yeah. And now what, a year since the renovation of the museum, and
yeah,
what, the roundabout on the north side of Main Street's getting
that
upgraded too.
we'll be doing that ribbon cutting here probably in the next at the beginning of the month. With Al Senior, his foundation has donated a lot of money to make that happen, and the metal engravings that will have some prominent features, I think, is going to be a nice, kind of cherry on the top, if you will, on the north side of Main Street. Yeah, it's just lots of going on. Just trying to make sure we can have the town there for in 100 years from now, when I'm sure long and gone.
Well, we're going to wrap up with some rapid fire questions. So, anything that pops into your mind, that's how we're going to answer these. Okay, if you were a tourist attending the Indy 500, how would you spend your day at Speedway?
I would start at Charlie Brown's and then go to Barbecue and Bourbon, get some lunch there. Maybe for those sweet tooths, I would head over to either Parlor Donuts, which just opened up.
Ooh.
The maple bacon
Very good.
donut's great. Or go over to Fun Days to get some ice cream. And then, I would definitely get there for Carb Day. The party atmosphere, get to see the cars, run some practice, the pit stop challenge, the concert. So you get that, and then stay for the weekend, visit our other restaurants, and then get ready to be there for the green flag on race day.
Camp in the Coke lot, by chance.
Yeah.
Hidden gems of Speedway that we haven't touched today.
Yeah, like I said, I think the new one there is the City Garage with Founders Ground. That they moved from their location at 14th and Main to the north side. It is a phenomenal piece. Borage is another nice restaurant. Their cinnamon roll is really good. If you can't tell, it's at 16th and Lyndhurst. Again, I got a bit of a sweet tooth, so their cinnamon roll is so good. But yeah, those are a couple of hidden gems.
Okay, what about your personal most memorable Indy 500 finish?
Oh, goodness. There for the first 8 or 9 of them, I was with the state police, so I really didn't get to see them.
Finish.
I think seeing TK win was probably the most memorable one. Getting his first win was great. I wish he was still racing. I know he's still involved in helping out with the race team, but seeing Tony Kanaan get his first win was pretty memorable.
My first 500 when I was a kid was watching Sam Hornish Jr. at the take over and win the race over Marco Andretti, and then J.R. Hildebrand and Dan Weldon win the race.
Yeah,
incredible finishes. You can't top it. So, for first time race goers, what's your advice?
Be prepared. Have fun, but be safe. Bring some water, especially
Marathon,
if it's a hotter
sprint.
day. Yeah. But just be prepared. Like I said, there's 350 plus thousand people that come in. It takes a little bit of time. We see those first timers just don't know what to expect. It can be a little bit overwhelming, but just embrace it. Just take it all in what you can, and, get in a little bit early, but don't expect to leave, right after the race is over.
I don't know how close you live to the track, but do you park cars in your front yard?
My yard is not big enough to do that. And, but I actually live less than a quarter of a mile from gate 1, so it's an easy walk.
I was going to ask you how much money you made on race day, because I walk by some of these folks, I'm like, goodness, they're packed in there.
Yeah, and and even when we bought our house in 2009, there wasn't a lot of homes available. So when they did come up, you got what you could. And, we've been in that house since 2009, and just not a lot of room to park. We've got, friends from out of town will say, "Hey, can we park?" So we can get one or two that we normally just, allow friends to park either in the front or the back. But there are people that pay their mortgages from race
Oh,
day alone. Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Okay, what's your favorite race day tradition?
Oh man, the cannon, just hearing that at 6 o'clock, go off, and then just from there, it's just the energy. This year for us is going to be a little bit different because my daughters are no longer in band, so I don't have to get up as early to get them to the high school. But yeah, that I think just getting up and hearing the cannon go off, and of course, I when I was a trooper, I loved being in there and just seeing all the people come in and enjoying themselves and getting the race going. But
And what's something that most race goers don't do, but they should do?
oh, that's a good question. Oh man, what do they? I think playing accordingly again because it's takes about 3.5 hours, 2.5 to 3.5 hours to get out. So just plan to be after the race a little bit longer and continue and have fun, and the neighborhoods are great. You know, there's kids that are selling lemonade and waters, and so just there's opportunities to continue that excitement of the race after it goes.
I love it. Well, Nick, it was a pleasure. Thank you for joining us. Trevor, thank you for joining us as
For
well.
having me.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Awesome. Thank you.